Greetings, humans, I'm Retrobot, and you are not. Ha ha hiki ho ho. Here I go.
Oh!
Ouch. Pull me out.
Oh boy, Retrobot. It's closing time. Lights out. I'll pull you out tomorrow.
Hey, wait.
Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Retro Ernest of Retro Electrotech, and I hope you are all doing well. What we have here is another BSR C as in Charlie, 129R as in Romeo, turntable that is from a small console unit, combo unit, that I worked on about a year ago. Now, why is this back in the shop? Well, I'll explain that. It came to me originally with a seized up motor. It was in pretty rough shape. The motor had a lot of oxidation throughout and tarnish and some surface rust. You can probably see, I think, yeah, you can see where the finish was damaged just a little bit there. Nonetheless, I cleaned up everything, and the bearing too was all seized up. The front bearing mostly, and the rear bearing too. It was just, this whole motor was very dirty, like I said, oxidized and tarnished and surface rust and all that garbage. So anyways, it ended up seizing up again despite the maintenance I performed and relubrication and so forth. Now, sometimes, that'll happen, and it's just one of those things that time will reveal. And everything looked good, of course, and it looked promising, but what I determined to be the problem after examining things a little bit more is that this front bearing is just worn in such a way, I guess, where every now and then it's just binding up, and oh well, it's just how it is. So if I had to fix it, if these motors were otherwise difficult to obtain or unobtainium or very, very, very expensive or something, I would change out the bearings, the front and rear bearings, and go through all that rigmarole and whatnot. But the bottom line is I don't have to. It just makes more dollars and cents to just pick up another motor. And they're still available, and they're cheap enough. In fact, I will share the resource with you guys where I got this one on the big auction site. A pretty good seller that does this whole part surplus thing, and strips down donor units and sells parts, old vintage audio parts and all that, and it seems like he's a pretty good seller. So anyways, I'll share that with you in a moment. But also too, I did go through the entire mechanism originally, and completely stripped everything down, cleaned everything, relubricated. Of course, during that time I performed a full inspection, made sure nothing was worn past the point of no return, bent or otherwise damaged, and everything looked good. I replaced the cartridge, stylus. So the whole turntable is definitely refurbished and restored, but this little sucker here just kind of creeped into the equation and just decided it was going to get stubborn and seize up again. So yeah, and as you can see here, this is a really clean unit here. There was no oxidation whatsoever. Everything is really clean, and everything's spins just absolutely free and nice, and so great. And it came with a mounting plate as well. So yeah, it's good to go. I'm just going to flip it around and get it mounted. And I'm only charging the guy for the motor. That's it. He's a good dude. I like to keep my customers happy. And even though this was something that was not my fault, it's just the way it is with old equipment. But it's easy enough just to pop in a new motor. The receiver portion of this console unit also had problems in the beginning. It had a dead channel, which I sussed out that problem, resolved the dead channel. I recap the receiver portion and maintenance the pots. So let me go ahead and get to it, and then I'll flash over to a quick test, and then we'll go to the computer and I'll show you the guy's page. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, before closing out this video, I wanted to share this resource real quick. You guys might have purchased parts off of this guy before on the big auction site here, but anyways, this guy, Joe Old Audio, I'm sure if you search for him on the auction site here, you know, you'll find him. But anyways, he sells a lot of surplus parts that he pulls from, you know, various components and all that stuff. He has a lot of stuff, transformers, motors, and, you know, just a whole variety of stuff. His prices aren't horribly bad. I've seen worse, and you know, he seems like a good seller. I got my stuff pretty quick. He got it out the door fast. It was packaged up adequately. Out of almost 7,000 transactions, I think he only had one negative, and it was for something that wasn't scandalous. Something just didn't fit or something. It wasn't a big deal, and you know, there's two sides to every story. So otherwise, when I run across a resource like this every now and then, I'll try to make it a point of sharing it. If it's somebody that looks like they're decent, somebody that looks ethical. If not, I just won't share it. I'm not gonna, you know, be cruising around the internet and making videos about this horrible, you know, business, that horrible business. You know, I just don't like slamming people, and you know, that's just not my thing. So anyways, but if it's something good, I'll share it with you. Otherwise, guys, that's about it. Joe Old Audio, he's got a lot of parts, as do a lot of other people, but just one resource to throw into the toolbox. So anyways, as I always say, peace, love, rock and roll, and of course, vintage audio. Till next time.